Are those bugs crawling all over your plants? Nope, not today. Spring is here and so are those tiny plant invaders, but don't worry, I've got your back. Today we're diving into natural, easy and super effective ways to keep pests away and keep your garden thriving. And the best part, no chemicals, just nature doing its thing. Stick around because tip number 4 will literally change the game. Let's go. Alright, first up, companion planting. Ever heard the saying, teamwork makes the dream work? Well, your plants think so too. Some plants actually protect each other just by being neighbors. It's like having a good friend watching your back, but in plant form. Instead of spraying harmful pesticides, you can simply plant the right combinations and let nature do the work for you. So let's talk about some of the best plant partnerships. First, basil and tomatoes. These two are the ultimate duo. Not only does basil improve the flavor of tomatoes, yes, really, but it also repels some of the worst garden pests like aphids, mosquitoes, and tomato hornworms. Hornworms can completely destroy your tomato plants in a matter of days, so keeping them away naturally is a huge win. Next up, marigolds. If you're growing any kind of vegetable, especially tomatoes, peppers, or beans, you need marigolds nearby. Their strong scent confuses and repels many pests, including nematodes, aphids, and whiteflies. They act like a natural bug force field, keeping unwanted visitors away from your crops. Plus, they add a bright pop of color to your garden, which is a bonus. Now let's talk about lavender. Most of us love the smell of lavender. It's calming and fresh. But guess what? Bugs absolutely hate it. Lavender naturally repels mosquitoes, moths, and fleas, making it perfect for planting near doors, patios, and around your garden. If you ever notice bugs swarming around your outdoor seating area, try planting some lavender nearby. It's like a built-in pest control system that also makes your garden smell amazing. And we can't forget about chives and onions. These are not only great for cooking, but also for keeping bugs in check. Their strong scent deters pests like carrot flies, aphids, and Japanese beetles. Plus, they're easy to grow and don't take up much space. If you're growing carrots, plant some chives alongside them and watch how they keep those annoying carrot flies away. So, with just a little strategic planting, you can create a natural defense system for your garden. No harsh chemicals, no expensive products, just good old-fashioned plant teamwork. Give companion planting a try this spring, and you'll notice fewer pests, healthier plants, and a more beautiful, thriving garden. And trust me, this is just the beginning. The next tip is all about tiny warriors that will literally fight pests for you. You won't believe how effective they are. Let's get into it. Now let's talk about one of the coolest and most natural ways to keep your garden pest-free, introducing beneficial insects. That's right, not all bugs are bad. Some of them are actually the best allies your plants can have. Instead of reaching for chemical sprays, why not let nature do the work for you? One of the most powerful little warriors in your garden is the ladybug. These tiny, red and black spotted beetles aren't just cute, they're absolute machines when it comes to pest control. A single ladybug can eat up to 50 aphids a day. That's right, 50. And if you don't know, aphids are one of the worst garden pests. They suck the sap right out of plants, making leaves curl up, turn yellow, and eventually die. But with ladybugs around, aphids don't stand a chance. And here's the best part. You can actually buy ladybugs online and release them right into your garden. Yes, it might sound crazy, but it's totally a thing. When you get them, just sprinkle them on your plants in the evening when it's cooler. They'll crawl around, settle in, and start their pest-fighting mission right away. It's like having a mini army working 24/7 for you. But ladybugs aren't the only good bugs you want. Another superstar in natural pest control is the praying mantis. These guys are the ultimate hunters. They eat everything: flies, moths, caterpillars, beetles, even other praying mantises if they have to. They're like little green ninjas in your garden. The cool thing is, if you create the right environment with lots of plants and hiding spots, they'll naturally show up. Or, like ladybugs, you can buy their eggs and hatch them right in your yard. Now let's talk about lacewings. If ladybugs are the cleanup crew, lacewings are the exterminators. Their larvae are known as aphid lions because they literally rip apart pests like aphids, whiteflies, and mealybugs. Adult lacewings also help pollinate flowers, so they're doing double duty, fighting pests and making your garden bloom. You can plant flowers like dill, fennel, and cosmos to attract them naturally, and we can't forget about bees. While they're not pest killers, they are essential pollinators. If your plants aren't getting pollinated, they won't produce fruit. Plus, bees help keep your garden ecosystem balanced, so the healthier the environment, the fewer pest problems you'll have. So how do you make sure these helpful insects stick around? Give them a reason to stay. Avoid using chemical pesticides, plant flowers that provide nectar, and create little habitats for them to thrive. If you do this, you'll have a natural, self-sustaining pest control system that keeps your plants safe without any extra work from you. And trust me, this next tip is one you don't want to miss. It's all about DIY sprays that actually work. Forget expensive store-bought stuff. We're making pest control right in your kitchen. Let's go. Alright, let's talk about DIY pest sprays, because sometimes no matter how much companion planting you do or how many ladybugs you have, some pests just won't take the hint. But don't worry, you don't need expensive store-bought sprays loaded with chemicals. You can make your own super effective all-natural pest control sprays with simple ingredients you already have at home. Let's start with one of the easiest and most effective sprays out there, soapy water spray. Bugs like aphids, spider mites, and whiteflies have soft bodies, and soap basically breaks down their outer layer, dehydrating them in no time. Here's how you make it. Mix 1 tablespoon of dish soap, unscented and chemical-free is best, with 1 quart of water. Pour it into a spray bottle, shake it up, and spray directly onto the bugs. The key here is to spray in the early morning or late evening to avoid leaf burn from the sun. Also, don't go overboard, spray every few days and wash it off with water in between applications. Now if you want something even stronger, let's make a garlic spray. Bugs hate garlic. The strong smell repels everything from aphids to caterpillars to mosquitoes. Plus, it's super easy to make. Take 2 whole garlic bulbs, yes, the whole bulb, not just 1 clove. Blend them with 2 cups of water until you get a thick, strong-smelling mixture. Let it sit overnight, then strain out the garlic bits and pour the liquid into a spray bottle. Add another 2 cups of water before spraying. Spray this around your plants, but avoid spraying directly on edible leaves unless you're okay with your veggies smelling like garlic. Okay, next up, neem oil spray. Neem oil is like nature's ultimate bug repellent. It comes from the neem tree and stops pests from eating, reproducing, and basically surviving. It works on over 200 types of pests, including aphids, caterpillars, and even fungus gnats. Here's what you need: 1 teaspoon of neem oil, 1 quart of water, and a few drops of dish soap to help it mix. Shake it up and spray on plant leaves once a week. Neem oil is super effective, but it can also repel good bugs like bees, so only spray in the evening when pollinators aren't around. And if you're dealing with ants, slugs, or snails, here's a trick. Pepper spray. Spicy stuff like cayenne and black pepper irritates pests and keeps them away. Just mix 1 tablespoon of cayenne pepper with 1 quart of water and spray around the base of plants. Be careful, it's spicy, so don't touch your eyes after using it. With these easy DIY sprays, you can fight off pests naturally and safely, without spending money on toxic chemicals. Try them out and see which one works best for your garden. Now if you think that's cool, wait till you hear about diatomaceous earth, a game changer that wipes out pests without harming your plants. Let's get into it. Next up, we've talked about companion planting, beneficial bugs, and powerful DIY sprays. Now let's get into one of the most underrated and insanely effective natural pest control methods, diatomaceous earth. It might sound like something straight out of a science lab, but it's actually just crushed up fossilized algae. And trust me, this stuff is a game changer when it comes to keeping pests away. So how does it work? Well, diatomaceous earth, also called DE, is a superfine powdery substance that looks soft to us, but is actually like tiny razor blades to insects. When pests like ants, beetles, slugs, or caterpillars crawl over it, the sharp edges cut their exoskeletons, causing them to dry out and die. Brutal? Yes. Effective? Absolutely. But here's the best part. It's 100% natural, non-toxic, and safe for pets, humans, and even pollinators like bees, as long as you use it correctly. You can sprinkle it around your garden without worrying about harming the environment. Now let's talk about how to use it properly. The key is to apply it in dry conditions. If it gets wet, it loses its effectiveness until it dries again. Here's what you do. Grab food-grade diatomaceous earth, not the stuff used for pools. That one is chemically treated and unsafe for plants and animals. Sprinkle it around the base of your plants, creating a barrier that crawling insects have to cross. If you have pests on your actual plants, dust a little on the leaves, but be careful not to overdo it. A light sprinkle is all you need. Reapply after it rains or if the soil gets wet to keep the barrier strong. So what pests does it work on? A ton. DE is effective against ants, aphids, caterpillars, slugs, beetles, earwigs, roaches, and even fleas. It's especially useful if you have slugs munching on your lettuce or ants farming aphids on your plants. Just sprinkle a ring of DE around the plant and boom, problem solved. One important tip, avoid sprinkling DE directly on flowers because it can affect bees if they come in direct contact with it. Instead, focus on the soil and lower leaves where pests usually hide. Now if you're looking for an extra layer of protection, try combining DE with some of the other methods we talked about. For example, after spraying a garlic spray on your plants, let it dry, then sprinkle DE around the base. This way, you're creating both a smell barrier and a physical one. making it nearly impossible for pests to stick around. And don't forget, timing matters. Watering in the morning instead of the evening helps keep plants dry and reduces moisture-loving pests like slugs and fungus gnats. Small changes like this make a huge difference in keeping your plants safe naturally. So, let's recap. We covered companion planting, bringing in beneficial bugs, DIY sprays, and diatomaceous earth, 4 insanely effective, all-natural ways to keep pests away. Try them out, mix and match, and see what works best for your garden. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more gardening hacks, and share this with a fellow plant lover. Let's grow together. See you in the next one.